There's a pattern that shows up in everything from your inner world to global markets. And once you notice it, a lot of confusion starts to dissolve. Everything moves between the one and the many, not as a philosophy, but as a living dynamic. At one extreme, things concentrate, power centralizes, identities sharpen. A single idea, leader, company, or narrative rises and begins to dominate. At the other extreme, things diversify, power disperses, perspectives multiply. What was once unified fragments into variation, and the system never stays at either pole for long. You can see it in business. A company starts as a singular vision, focused, lean, often driven by one person or a tight group. That clarity gives it strength, but as it grows, it has to expand into the many, more teams, more products, more perspectives. Complexity increases, then something interesting happens. If it becomes too fragmented, it loses coherence. Strategy blurs, culture weakens. So, what does it do? It recenters. New leadership, restructuring, simplification, back toward the one. Markets behave the same way. Periods of consolidation, where a few dominant players control attention and capital, are eventually followed by waves of disruption, where smaller players, new ideas, and decentralized models emerge. Then those over time consolidate again. Expansion and consolidation, differentiation and integration. Neither is better. Both are necessary. Even innovation follows this rhythm. A breakthrough idea emerges as a unified insight, something clean and simple. Then it branches into countless applications, iterations, and interpretations. Eventually, the noise gets distilled again into a new core principle, and the cycle continues. Zoom in closer, and the same pattern is running your personal life. You refine your identity, your goals, your sense of self. That's movement toward the one. Then life introduces relationships, challenges, and feedback that force you to adapt, diversify, and see beyond your own perspective. That's the many. Too much identity without connection, and you become rigid, isolated, brittle. Too much adaptation without identity, and you become scattered, diluted, directionless. So life keeps moving you. What feels like instability is often just this deeper order playing out. The tension you feel in decision making: should I focus or explore, scale or specialize, lead or collaborate, isn't a problem to eliminate. It's the exact edge where growth happens. The same is true in teams. The strongest organizations aren't purely top down or completely decentralized. They move. They know when to align tightly around a core mission and when to open space for autonomy and variation. Balance isn't a fixed point, it's an ongoing adjustment. And that's the part most people miss. They try to arrive at stability as if life or business should lock into a single optimal state. But systems that stop moving in this rhythm tend to stagnate or collapse. There's a kind of intelligence in allowing both forces to exist, to build something coherent without suffocating diversity, to explore widely without losing direction, to stand as an individual while staying connected to the whole. When you start seeing the world through this lens, things don't feel as random. You notice the cycles in your work, your relationships, even your ambitions. You stop overreacting when things break apart. You stop clinging when things come together because you recognize the pattern, the one becoming many, the many returning to one, not as opposites, but as phases of the same process, shaping everything that grows, scales, breaks, and evolves.